Now we're all guilty of hitting a curb or two in our nice vehicles with our nice shiny new wheels. I'm definitely no exception, as you can see here on the black van. I've had these wheels about 3.5, 4 years, something like that. So obviously they're going to take stone chips and start to corrode. So at the 3, 4 year mark, when you start to see corrosion under the clear coat, then it's time to do something about it. These wheels started life as a nice diamond cut face set of Riviera 20-inch alloys. I've got the same on both of the vans. In this video, I'm going to show you how to pretty much do a quick fix on them. It's going to take a bit of time, but it's not a case of taking them right back to metal and starting again. This is just basically a face fix, taking off the clear coat and sanding down the damage and putting them back to something like how they used to be. Obviously, if you want them perfect, you need to get them taken right back, whether it be acid dipped or shot blasted. I'm not going to do that with these wheels. This is pretty much just a bit of a quick fix because it is a works van and it will be seeing curbs again, I've absolutely no doubt. So this video is all about how to do this fix, and I'll get into it now, show you how to do it. Now the very first thing you should know before you start painting or sanding of any kind of prepped painted surface is to get rid of any form of grease or oils or anything like that. So what I've done first is use a heavy duty iron remover to get rid of any kinds of brake dust or anything like that. That gets them really clean, and now you can really see the damage on especially the passenger side wheel, which I think everyone knows in England is the first wheel to hit a curb without a doubt. It's just the most prone wheel. This is the front driver's. It's not too bad, but there's a lot of corrosion going on under the clear coat. You can see it there, and especially down there at the bottom. You nick it through the clear coat and then the water gets behind it, and after one winter cycle basically that's it, it starts to corrode and it's time to sand it back on. Obviously you can pay a wheel refurb company hundreds of pounds to do it, but I'm not going to do that with these. I'm going to show you how to do it at home, quick and easy. So now we've got all the grease and dirt off them, we're going to start attacking the face, the diamond cut face only. And what I'm using here is an orbital sander with quite a rough grade, to be honest, because this lacquer on these wheels is very, very strong. So I'm using an 80 grit to start with, just to break through the lacquer, get rid of the lacquer coat. It does take a bit of time. You need to be really careful not to scratch the actual colour underneath. In this case, it's I think it was called a gunmetal grey when I bought the wheels, something like that. I don't want to take the grey off. I'm going to leave that alone because it's actually not in bad nick at all. So I'm just sanding the faces back, being careful not to get too close to the grey. Once I'm through the clear coat with the 60 grade, now I'm going at it with the 320. This will basically take out a lot of the scratches that you put in with a 60 grit. You're not going to get it too much smoother with an orbital, to be honest, than you will with the 320, but this will bring them down easily enough so that you can deal with it with a scotch pad. So once you've gone down to 60 grade, you're going to see quite a lot of scratches. The orbital sander leaves like little tiny C marks. That's just how they are. So what I've done now is go through it again, done the entire wheel again, but with 320 grit. This will get the wheel all completely uniform and easily smooth enough to be able to smooth it the final amount with a scotch pad. As you can see there, you can see that the orbital sander does leave it kind of rough, but alloy is really easy to deal with. The scotch pad, which I'm doing now, just takes it back that last little bit and makes it just smooth enough to be able to still key the paint but still get a lovely finish at the end once it's clear coated. And as you can see, all the orbital lines, they leave like tiny little C's, like C shapes in the metal. So the scotch pad just literally, it takes them out. And once you've got all the face uniform, then what you need to do is scotch pad the rest of it, all the grey surface, because Obviously you're going to be clear coating the entire rim, so what you need to do is scratch up the original painted surface, otherwise all that'll happen is your lacquer will crack in a couple of months' time. So all I'm doing here is using a scotch pad to go around all the painted surfaces of the wheel. Just key them up so that all the next paint sticks to it before giving it a full wipe down with some isopropyl alcohol. This just eliminates any dust, any fingerprints, any grease, anything like that. Gets them completely ready to paint, makes everything stick together nicely. Now scotch padding is very tedious, and so sanding. No more so in fact than the actual masking of the tyre. You can do this with the tyre off, but I'm not going to do that, so we'll use a little bit of editing now and we'll just skip this. Once you're completely happy with how you've masked it, which clearly I am right now, it's time to mix some paint. What I'm using is, I always use U-Pol. I seem to love the U-Pol products. They're so easy to use. Very rarely do you get any paint reactions with them. It's the way that they explain how to mix everything is just so straightforward. Online you can get all the data sheets so easily. It's a really good product. I'm using a 2-pack clear coat with a fast hardener. A lot of people don't like the fast hardeners because they like it to flow out better, but I find that with the fast hardener you can really layer it on thick. So when you're painting, especially with clear coat, what you need to do first is just literally the first coat you do, you just want to get some clear on. Don't ever try and get perfect finish on your first go, because all you want to do really is get a layer of clear on and just let it tack off a little bit, and that literally acts like a glue and allows the next coats, which are the full coats, they then stick to the first coat, which has already gone tacky. And this really helps with any reactions, any runs, things like that. You still need to be careful not to get runs, but this method really is the only method to use. What I've done with these is I've done one thin coat, use that as the glue, then I've gone one full thick coat, and then I've got one final coat, which I'm making sure that every little bit of it's kind of flowing in and there's no orange peel effects, anything like that. So it's had 3 really thick, nice coats, and there we have it. You can still kind of see a little bit of the scotch pad scratching through it, but I really don't care about that. I'd prefer it to key properly than to look absolutely perfect, especially on a van. But let me know what you think. There's other videos on this van with the brakes, the caliper painting, all the mechanics, everything like that. So if you do like these videos, hit the like, give us a subscribe, and I hope to see you back watching some more of our videos. Thanks for watching.